What's up, Snaz, and hello everyone, welcome back to what may be the final episode in the last chapter of the letter. Last episode, we finally caught up to the story and, well, Ash died as we all know, hurrah! And we all got pulled into some sort of dark abyss and now we ended up here in the bloody workroom. There's a moment of panic when the feeling of the tendrils around my limbs finally dissipates. As soon as my eyes adjust to the darkness of the room and I'm on my feet, I'm reaching for my knife and holding it out, watching, waiting for every movement. So did we get separated or something? Using it as a way to put distance between me and these peasants. Nope. Who knows what they'll do now? We're all desperate to get out of this house. There's only 6 of us in this room, 3 of them friends at that. I cannot trust these people not to turn on me. Bloody hell, even Hannah's giving me the same looks as them now. Though Mint's already gone loon, crouched in the corner and muttering to herself, you can't really say anyone's safe from her. If anything, she's the one I should watch out for. I cannot trust anyone, aside from myself. Not anymore. Not after this. Despite the pleading looks Lily shoots my way while they all huddle in the corner behind steel. But I have to remind myself that even people like her are capable of doing the unpleasant. She's only human after all, it's never an excuse. Why even Hannah and her cunning manipulative moments, though she does it much subtler than I? Why else would Lily show this letter to all of us that day if not to save herself? I guess that backfired on her now that she and her own friends are also stuck here. Still, I have every right to be livid. Everything that I've built has fallen apart. All because these people came into our lives.
You! All of you! This is all your fault! If I've died to this bloody curse, I'm taking you all down with me!
Luke, please put that knife away. This isn't going to solve anything.
I'm glad you're still reasonable in this situation.
Hey now, Mr. Wright. I know the situation ain't good, but we have to calm down. We're all in the same boat here.
You shut your mouth! If it weren't for you, for this letter, for all of you, none of this would have happened!
Is your life all that matters to you? What about these people here? Don't they have the same problem? What about me, Luke? Do you even care?
Are you taking their side? You're also stuck in this nightmare, Hannah! That creature is out to get us, and you're still defending these people!
I'm not defending anyone, Luke. I'm just trying to be reasonable when you're clearly not.
Oh, of course you're not. You're just the one who bought this bloody mansion to begin with. If I didn't know any better, you did this on purpose!
Why, no. Why would I ever do that? This was only meant to be an anniversary gift.
God damn, Luke.
For you. For us. For the family we're going to have.
Right, anniversary gift.
He's off his noggin.
Oh, here's your gift, darling. Oh, by the way, there's a curse included in that package. I hope that's all right. Are you really that eager to get rid of me, Hannah?
She's in the same situation too.
Because if that's what you've been meaning to do all this time, you might as well just put a knife in my back while I'm...
Suddenly, Hannah steps up and slaps the knife away from my hand. Said knife slides uselessly under the table, out of my reach. Before my mind registers what's happening, a sharp blow explodes in the side of my head, sending me reeling backwards. She merely stands before me afterwards, without even batting an eye, glaring at me as if she might just rip my head off this instant. Sometimes I forget. You didn't marry a fucking peasant, Luke.
Don't you dare, Luke. Don't you dare imply I've ever thought of you that way.
That Hannah is never the weak woman I believed her to be. How did I come to think of her as such? She used to be someone I can look up to, isn't she? When you look at her now, the way she stands tall facing a man like me, the same way she has done all those years ago, I can't help but think, am I not responsible for taking that part of herself away from her? Enjoy your time as Mrs. Luke Wright. What a bunch of shite. Figures why she wants to leave me.
And these people are only trying to help us.
Oh, of course, by barging into our home! Are you really going to trust them to save your life? These peasants who brought this pox upon us!
Keep talking about us like that, and see if any of us here will keep you out of this place.
Rebecca, stop! All of you stop this!
To hear Lily speak out loud, I can't say I'm not surprised. She has always given me the impression of someone so meek from the moment I've met her, either from her inexperience or station in life. She has never struck me as someone fitting to be a real estate agent. If anything, that meltdown she had during the open house has only proven my assumptions. Until now. Quietly, she puts herself between me and Daisy, cutting whatever scathing words we've yet to hurl at each other. The way she glares at me, it reminds me a little of the way my own mum would look at me. Particularly when I've done something wrong, and it's not a stare she's unused to showing. She has done this before, probably to a younger sibling. Huh. If she only sees us now as a pair of squabbling kids and not two mature adults, well, that's only to be expected. No doubt that's how she sees us. For a long moment, there's only silence in the room. Seal, the big oaf, doesn't even dare to break it. Merely watching the three of us behind two women who he towers over significantly. Too soft. Not that it matters when Lily starts speaking again, after some of the anger and tension is lifted from the room.
Stop this, please! With or without that damn piece of paper,
A deep breath. An exhale. And then she closes her eyes, a crease forming between her eyebrows while she grips her hand tightly in front of her.
we still would have ended up in this mess.
The atmosphere that descends into the room right after that, admission is anything but pleasant. Can I call it that? An admission? It seems like from the way her eyes nervously flick between her friends and I, she appears to know more than she lets on, and how she makes herself appear smaller after dropping that bomb on us doesn't sit quite well with me. Impatience is something I don't have the luxury of having right now and bestowing upon other people. What else does this girl know? What else is she not telling us? Because from the looks of this, even her friends have no idea what she's talking about. Unwilling to wait, I grab her arm before she retreats without explanation, waving the letter still in my hand in front of her.
Ow! Sir, you're hurting me!
Luke, will you stop taking it out on every single person?
Your friend is hiding something, Daisy.
She struggles for a moment, but my hold eventually forces her to look up at me. Fear and uncertainty spreads across her features, especially when her eyes lands on the damned paper. As much as I want to be considerate right now, I want answers.
What do you mean, Lily?
I'm not sure about it.
Don't give me that, you know something!
Ow! Please, sir! I know the paper's useless, okay?
At the mention of the letter, all of a sudden Mint stands. I've almost forgotten she's here, her ramblings having faded away in shouting. Without warning, she snatches a paper out of my hand. It's a miracle it did rip right then and there, but the way she glares at it, I think she may want to do exactly that.
We should have gotten rid of this thing! We should have burned it at the first opportunity we got!
No, even if we rip it to shreds, it won't do anything. I think...
You don't know what I've seen, Santos. There were children! Victims! All because they had no idea what this thing will do to them! Oh God, those poor souls! They were screaming and begging before she...
Then what about those people they mentioned in the news lately? All those who died? My coworkers? The open house clients? None of them had seen it. Even Rose. And yet they're all dead. I should know. That letter has been with me since I picked it up. And I swear I didn't make copies of this thing. Even if I wanted to save myself, I wouldn't do that to my friends. Or anyone.
And yet we're all here! Are you taking me for a fool, Lily?
Whoever said you were our friend?
I have to go with whiskey on this. Who knows how many has already seen this before you found it? This cursed thing has to go!
We would have ended up here either way. Maybe? I really don't know. Sir, please. All I know is that paper isn't the reason why all of this is happening. There's something else that...
This place.
Steele has been quiet this entire time. The sound of him talking, however whispered it is, still manages to catch us all off guard. We all pause, turning to him with likely the same questions in our eyes.
What?
Oh, I just thought. I mean, it's a straight thought. Don't take my word for it.
No, it might be something. What about this place, Zach? Maybe it's also the reason why Ash went here.
There's still a moment when he hesitates, but Lily's urging eventually spurs him into speaking.
I was just thinking, maybe Ash is right for why he went here. This is where Bella found that thing, right? And then this.
Regardless, Steele pauses, allows Lily to remember. Soon enough, whatever dawns on her, and her face lights up with something like hope. Of all things, in this nightmare, hope? Her head snaps up and reaches for Steele's arm to give it a squeeze. A reassurance? A confirmation? The meaning is lost even to Daisy, who glances at them baffled.
Belle, what are you...
Becca, it's this place. Think about it.
What? You mean, like, burn this place down?
I still think we should get rid of this letter before we start thinking of destroying a place with some historical value.
Really? That's what you're thinking about right now? You guys are in mortal danger, and yet, let's think about the historical value of this fucking haunted mansion that wants to kill us.
What? And no? We are not burning a multi-million-pound mansion, you peasants! I just spent a fortune on this!
And how much is your life worth?
Seriously, Luke, are you really more worried about that?
Anna, this is why you're our waifu.
Buttercup, mansion, millions. It's gonna take years getting all that money back!
Well, you certainly won't be getting any of that money if you're dead.
True, true.
Really, Luke? Is that more important than your life?
Bloody fucking hell! Not only do I have trespassers on my property, but they're also arsonists!
How dare they suggest something like that? Bloody peasants. My head's already aching just listening to them. They think this is all the solution they can come up with. I should have just stabbed all of them and made a run for it. It doesn't help that with each second we spend talking here, the crazier this whole place gets. The voices have become louder and somehow sounding more vicious. If the things in this room start floating, mark my words, I will fucking flip out. And they might not be thinking of it right now, but eventually they'll turn on me. Such is the nature of humans. Better find a way out of this place as soon as possible if I want to stay alive. Fuck, I still have so much to do. None of our choices seem sound, but who knows? We don't understand shite about this place. Might as well try everything, yeah? Whatever works. Except burning down the house? Everything works except that, apparently. If I also have to be the one to make that bloody decision, so be it. Less room for errors with only the sane one doing the thinking. On an off chance I'm wrong, well, they suggested it. I decide to burn the letter, burn the mansion, burn the fucking mansion. I am going to regret this, I will. But with these cries growing louder, this has become the easiest decision I have ever made. I'm getting tired of hearing her sobbing, really. It's just irritating. Isn't she getting tired of it? Besides, someone has to act fast, think fast. And what else is the root cause of our problems but this place where the letter was found? Okay, that's a quick change of heart. No need to make things more complicated. It started here, why won't it end here? If what Lily said was true, then there's all more reason to destroy it. Put an end to this madness before someone thinks of putting this blasted place up on the market again. When I get out of this place, I swear I am suing a bunch of people, run that estate company to the ground if need be. We spent millions, damn it! Millions! With a sigh and perhaps a heavy heart, I opened one of the drawers in the study table. Taking a bottle of liquor out for myself, then passing it on to every occupant in the room. They accept it, but not without a look of protest or a confused glance at my way. It does shut them all up, so maybe I've done something good.
Luke, this isn't the time.
Even more when I pop the cork of the bottle and pour its contents on the floor.
Well, what are you simpletons waiting for?
We waste no time dousing the whole room, the smell of alcohol filling the air. If I didn't know any better, I'd say they're more than eager to set this whole place on fire. And the blaze catches easily in the room when I set it alight, using the blasted paper as kindling. With the whole place drenched with wine and all manner of things alcoholic I've been hiding from Hannah, the small fire soon turns into an inferno. In a matter of seconds, we're out the door. It doesn't exactly lead where I'm hoping it will. Although ending up in the kitchen does give us more reason to play like a bunch of pyromaniacs. Fishing the liquor stocks from the cupboards, we also do the same thing we've done to the study. Door after door in every room we pass. Pouring bottle after bottle of expensive aged liquor and setting everything on fire. Only leaving once the blaze has started in earnest. When we run out of liquor, we simply drop the bottle and take one of the many nooks I've stashed one. And there's no lack of it in here. The hard stuff, the shorts, the watered down kind. Gifts from a distant relative, friends, so-called friends, you name it. I made sure there's always one within reach.
Have you been hiding these from me all this time? How many of these are in this mansion?
Let's focus on burning down the mansion and I'll explain my alcoholism to you some other date, please, honey.
Only a few bottles in the bedroom, and the parlor, and the dining room.
Lucia, we are going to have a very long discussion about this drinking problem of yours.
Less talking, more blazing.
And I'm telling your doctor.
Well, this isn't the time to discuss that.
Turns out they'll be useful now. Not to drown out my sorrows, but for this. Wonder of wonders, though I suppose I can say it also saved my life. But there's no time for introspection now, because with each room we pass and burn, the place also becomes easier to navigate, as if it's slowly righting itself, returning to what it's supposed to be. Soon we finally find ourselves standing before the main door. The strong odor of burning wood, cloth, and varnish alike wafts from under the doors of the rooms we previously torched, slowly filling the hall with a thick black smoke. The blaze also started in earnest in every part of the house. I can already feel the heat seeping from the rooms I've set aflame. In a matter of minutes, flames will engulf the whole house. Fittingly, this is where she appears again before us, watching us from atop the stairs while her whole world goes up in flames around her. However, what catches my eyes is the expression on her face. Not the vile smile I've already grown accustomed to, or the one where her eyes gleam with complete hatred. This one? Forlorn is the only word I can think to describe it.
No, please. Help me. Help me, please.
Can the dead still feel? Can she still hear us? Or is that merely another one of her tricks to trap us in this nightmare? Like this, however, she seems like the woman she used to be. And I don't waste any time pondering over it. Not with the exit just a few steps away. The door is finally open and through it I can glimpse the world outside. Safety. However, I do turn, if only to see the last of her. A farewell, more than anything. For all her attempts to lure me, draw me in, her wishes to be with me, she does not stop me when I finally run from this horrid place. Quietly, she disappears. Watching a multi-million-pound house burn before me, for some reason, nothing about this bothers me. Maybe it's that one last look on her face that has changed it. Maybe it's what I've seen and heard inside. There's only a calm, a stillness. The same hush that comes after a terrible storm has swept the countryside. And with it is the sight of the sun rising above the horizon. Ever so slowly, the sky begins to lighten before my eyes. Darkness giving way to the warm morning hues, soft rays spilling over the vast expanse of Luxborn's countryside. Nearby, the trees sway and rustle with the breeze, a passing draft that carries even in this room from the outside, cold enough to make me shiver. The remains of a storm that has passed. In the distance, I can hear the soft chirping of birds while the rest of the world stirs and awakes. Dawn at last. You're free. Like the flames that engulfed the mansion last night, whispers quickly spread across Luxborn City after the incident. Officers who investigated it simply deemed it as an unfortunate accident, resulting in the death of innocent lives. Regardless of the truth, Luke Wright files criminal charges against Buyer Realty Corporation after, for undisclosed reasons to the public, forcing the latter to declare bankruptcy. A move that has merely stoked the rumors further. But for those who still believe in the stories of the old and who know the truth, it is but a testament to the curse and the secrets of the Ermengarde mansion as hidden for centuries. If there will come a time, those will finally be revealed. Only the ashes of the now ruined mansion know. However, on nights when the wind howls and thunder blooms across the sky, some still claim hearing voices where it once stood. Of cries and wails that fill the nights and desperate calls for help for anyone who dares to listen. As for those who once tread its halls, unable to settle their differences, Hannah Wright eventually files for a divorce from Luke Wright. For several months, they've become the subject of gossips in the mass media in the city. In spite of this, the two have uncharacteristically remained tight-lipped on the circumstances of their separation. Though many assume this is an inevitable falling out stemming from the trouble during their couple's housewarming party. To everyone's surprise, however, Luke Wright quietly accepts the court's decision and disappears from the Evans heiress' life, without creating much of a fuss. Even after Hannah Evans has given birth to their children, months later the man is rarely seen around the family, merely leaving his children paltry gifts in the mailbox whenever he's in town and never showing his face. With the Wright couple's separation also comes the Wright Evans conglomerate split up. Although the Wright Enterprise still manages to do well in business, with Evans Incorporated back as a competitor, Other Tech League places its CEO and the company under legal spotlight months later. This time, however, with then Chief Inspector Harvey Lee's sudden absence, the businessman isn't able to escape from close scrutiny. In an investigation headed by the newly appointed Chief Inspector Abigail Harris, all of Wright Enterprises' illegal business dealings within the past 10 years have come to light. Although its involvement with other crimes is still being investigated, the disclosure has caused a huge outcry, especially from the city business sector. Sued on multiple grounds, the company is ultimately forced to shut down. Oddly, when Luke Wright steps out of his office one last time, there's only a small smile on his face. To avoid public outrage, the once affluent businessman immediately leaves the city. All of his bank accounts have been emptied, including Luxborn apartments, leaving not a single trace or clue where he might be hiding. Last anyone has seen of the man was on a flight bound for Ireland. Oh fucking hell. Till this day, no one has heard from him. Not even Hannah Evans. Even his people from the old Wright Enterprise have all been left to deal with the aftermath. Though over the past few months after the situation has calmed, some have made claims of spotting him fitting in and out of the city. If only to check on those he has left behind. Following the company's split, Hannah Evans re-establishes Heavens Incorporated, becoming its CEO like her late father has always wanted for her. Though a bit out of practice and doubted by many people at first, the Evans heiress quickly finds her bearings and proves to be every bit as talented in the business as her parents. Soon under her management, the new Evans Inc. flourishes, becoming one of the prime investment and finance companies in Luxborn City. Once after her recovery, Marianne McCullough heads back to her homeland, ready to close a chapter of a past she has left hanging for so long. There she visits Lorraine's grave, asking for forgiveness from the girl she once loved, something she has intentionally avoided for years. Although the terror of what she witnessed inside Ermengarde Mansion still clings to her, she bravely chooses to move on from it, turning a new leaf by focusing on a new branch of her interior design company and leaving her interior design company at Luxborn in the hands of a secretary instead. Although she never returns to the city after, she is frequently seen visiting to check on the people she has become acquainted with in her years there. Having finally accepted herself, she won't deny she's in a happier place now. Despite making the Ireland branch of her interior design company her focus now, Marianne continues to cater to her most avid patrons in Luxborn when requested. And after her work on the Ermengarde Mansion, Hannah Evans has never trusted another to handle the design of any place she owns. After moving back to Evans' mansion after her divorce, Marianne's name is the first thing she calls, and the woman is quick to fly back to the city at the socialite summons. Not only helping with the decorations of the old place, but also assisting with the renovations, much to Hannah's delight. Since then, the two women have kept a close friendship and business relationship. Often they can be seen going around town together when Marianne's in town, and Evans' heiress can be heard recommending the designer to her peers during parties. Some even may go as far to say that Hannah Evans has confided with Marianne McCullough during the tumultuous time of her divorce with Luke Wright. Whatever the case is, one can't deny that both women have found a confidant in the other. With help of family and friends, Zachary Steele is soon able to open a photography studio on his own, something he has only dreamed of having as a child. Although he still hopes to get back to making indie films someday, client work and small projects has kept him mostly busy. Hectic as it may be, he can only be glad for the amount of work pouring in. It has made moving on from the incident in the Ermengarde Mansion easier, if not faster. Even with his success, he still hasn't forgotten what he has lost during that time. But while he still has nightmares, with support from his family, his doctor, and his own drive, the dark images have finally turned into pleasant dreams. He's aware he won't ever truly forget, but he's no longer running away. At times when he's not busy or after a hard day's work, he thinks of another story for the big screen to be told in that, an idea he may soon turn into reality once his time affords it. Despite his business success, however, Zach has never forgotten the sacrifices a friend has made for him. Even after so many years, he remains a constant visitor where Ashton Frey lies, staying for a whole day sometimes, reveling him with stories about his day. Although the wounds are still fresh, Zach trudges on with life instead of wallowing in his grief, knowing his old friend would not want him clinging on to sorrow like he used to be years before. This is how he has chosen to honor him. In the months that follow, Rebecca Gales becomes a prominent researcher within Luxborn's major academic circles, especially after writing about what she discovered about Anselm Village and Ermengarde Mansion. With the help from Professor Andrew Clark, she is soon able to secure funding to continue her research, presenting her findings yearly at the local and international summits. Now at the tail end of her current study, she hopes to publish her first book, correcting all inaccuracies in the city's current history. A move supported by both colleagues, students, and friends alike. Though she knows she still has a long way to go before she can even change people's minds about it, Professor Clark has warned her as much, she perseveres. Doing it not for herself but for the sake of what she lost after the curse. As fresh as the wounds still are, this is how she remembers. No matter how disturbing her experience with the curse may have been, she remains the worrywart she has always been. Even after what she's seen, she continues to fret over people she cares about, sometimes much to their frustration or embarrassment. But if there's one thing to be shifted, it's her relationship with people in their little group, particularly Zach Steele. In fact, on numerous occasions, she has been spotted dropping by his new studio, bringing the man food on days when he's swamped with work. They also seem to have grown more comfortable around each other than before. Maybe it's born out of their shared experience. Or maybe the way they see each other has changed simply naturally, due to the years they've known each other. Regardless of the why such a change, the man welcomes and appreciates. In turn, he strives to return her kind gestures whenever he can. For all the horrors they've seen, they would have thought something good will come of it. With her newfound courage, Isabel Santos finally chooses to pursue what she really wants for herself. Having made enough to keep her family afloat for a few years, and with her blessing, she quits her job at Briar Realty and takes a scholarship offer from the local university. Though remarkably out of practice and unsure if she'll be able to keep up by the time she returns to university, she finds her feet soon enough with help from people close to her. And with her confidence in her skills growing, so do the number of people recognizing her and her work. It doesn't take long for several award-giving bodies to take notice of her. For all her accomplishments, however, she has never truly forgotten what happened at the Ermengarde mansion, nor what she has lost. The images still remain in her, and on particularly unpleasant nights, terrors continue to visit her dreams. She knows those won't ever disappear from her life. It has become a part of her in the same way death has permanently taken from her. However, she's no longer afraid. And with a brave face, she carries on, earnestly wishing that someday she'll be able to paint brighter and more vivid thoughts on her canvases. An honest portrayal of life and hope amidst the fear. Shortly after accepting the scholarship grant from Luxembourg University, Isabella moves from Salemville residences in favor of staying in a dorm close to her campus. Although Rebecca Gale is quick to offer assistance for the move, she does admit that she will be missing her neighbor of more than 5 years. When all is said and done, she has become fonder of the girl over the years, and with her shared experience over the curse, they have only grown closer. Isabella leaves with a promise to visit every once in a while. And even though she still jokingly complains about Rebecca's bossy attitude, she confesses that she also misses the woman's fussing. After all, in a place miles away from her real family, Rebecca is still the closest thing she has to a sister. More than a year later, once everything in their respective lives have settled, Zachary Steele and Isabel Santos finally hold their first exhibit together. A project that has been in the making for almost 2 years, after the photographer casually brought it up to the other artists. While merely intending as a small event, it has been surprisingly attended by several members of Luxembourg's upper class and art enthusiasts. Although only a few of the pieces have been meant for sale, the show has brought prominence to Zachary and Isabel's names in the city's art scene. It has since been followed by several other art exhibits by the two, both in and out of the city. Currently, they are planning to hold their first show overseas. Yet even with this unexpected, overwhelming fame, friendship between the two has remained strong. Theirs, after all, is a bond that goes beyond mere partners in a small project. He's her family, as much as she is his. While she's aware she still has plenty of ways to go, getting back to school has also opened a lot of opportunities for Isabella. At times, part-time work has started to come in droves, and she is able to support herself financially through her art alone. Something she has dreamed of only as a child. And when clients are generous enough, she's able to send money back home as well, despite her family's reassurances. One such client is Marian McCullough's interior design company, who frequently commissions her for murals after the woman has learned of her skill. Though at times she finds it difficult to keep up with the interior designer's standard for quality, it's a job and challenge she's only too happy to accept, if it means doing what she loves. Well. After how many months we've been playing this game, we've finally finished the letter. And it's good. It is fucking good. You know what? At the start of the year, when I first started this YouTube channel, I gave Filipino games, local games, a ton of shit. Because it was an industry focused on mobile games, and I never expected that. I know that there were a few games, a few PC games, core games that came out of our industry that had lots of potential that, well, let's just say they were successful in their own right and that they succeeded in what they wanted to do, but they never really caught the attention as much as the letter has over these past few months. As I've been playing the letter more than half a year and been following the developers, Yang Yang Mobile, shout out to you guys for also, retweeting our videos. These developers have shown something special that I can definitely say has sparked a new hope in me for the Philippine games industry. Because the letter is a visual novel, but many people sort of put down visual novels because they think it's easy to make, they think stories are just copy-paste, and as cliche as the letter is, it's very faithful and authentic to what it wants to do. It's not a big budget production like The Witcher 3 or some sort of fan servicey thing like Nekopara, but it succeeds as a horror story and a visual novel. The art is beautiful. The soundtrack, the voice acting is absolutely on point. It's one of the highest production products I've ever seen in our local industry, and I'm not afraid to say that it may be the best game we've ever produced. Of course, that's a hyperbole, but to me, of all the local games I've played, and yes, there's a low standard and there's not a lot to pick from, The Letter stands out because it is so focused on what it wants to do, and it does it 20 out of 10%, 100 fucking out of 10%. It's a testament to what a focused design is. Big budgets. You don't need, like, big names. You don't need all of that crap to make a great video game. What you need is a powerful concept and strong execution, and that is where The Letter fucking succeeds. This game has been amazing. I would recommend this visual novel to absolutely anyone. One of the best visual novels out there to date. I only wish... God damn it. This music's making me cry. Fuck this music. It's making me cry. The Letter is one of the best visual novels to come out this year. I recommend all of you to buy it if you're into this genre, support these devs. And, well, yeah. It was a fucking amazing game.
People can lie, but my lone heart beats true.
Do we have something after the credits?
Tio? Where are you, Tio?
What the fuck?
Tio? Please?
Kylie?
She's here! She's still here, Tio!
Fuck!
Help me! Please!
Well, there goes the age restriction on this video. Dear you, if you're reading this, that means you finished playing the game in one way or another, and we thank you for the time you've spent playing The Letter. This game is our passion project more than anything, and we sincerely hope we delivered in bringing you a one-of-a-kind visual novel experience. The Letter is hopefully the first of many visual novels coming from us. If you like what we did with this game and would like to support us, please continue donating to our Patreon account. You can follow us on social media, and our usual handle is Yang Yang Mobile. Love, the Yang Yang Mobile team. You heard it there, folks. Donate to them through their Patreon, and I'ma say, once again, my name is Nez, and thanks for watching. See you all next time. Bye, everyone.